In this Map Suite MVC Edition sample app walkthrough, we're going to show you how you can add a context menu to your map. A context menu is when you right-click on the map and you'll see another submenu pop up with various items that the user can select. In this case, we've got a real simple context menu with three different selections. One is just a hyperlink that if I click on it will take you to the ThinkGeo website. The other is does something a little bit different, where if I click this, it'll actually update the position of where the user clicked on the map and fill in these text box. And then finally, the third item we have in our context menu here shows how you can do some JavaScript to display just an information pop-up in the browser. So really, you're not limited to doing anything specific with the context menu. It's up to you to implement your own custom functionality for each item in here, which gives you a lot of flexibility when you're building your own application. So let's take a look at the source code to see how to implement this. So we're going to take a look at the view source code here. And we've got some JavaScript that we'll take a little closer look at in a bit. But down here is where we're setting up the map when the page is loaded and actually configuring the context menu. So this part right here is just setting up the map, adding it to the page, and then adding the world map kit as a base map overlay so we have something to display on the map. And then this is the real meat of the sample where we're setting up the context menu. So on the context menu you can set multiple menu items like we said here, and in this case we're creating the three different types. This menu item here is just using that hyperlink we saw and just using an href tag and give it a new target of blank so it pops up in a new browser. And so when the user clicks on that menu item, it's just going to launch a new browser and go to that URL. So that can be handy if you want to pop out to some other system or give some other information along those lines. The next menu item we're creating here is actually going to call the on-client click event, which is going to call some JavaScript here, this context menu click up here. And then the last one is just putting a little div tag in there that's going to call this JavaScript function of pop-up information when the user clicks it. So as you can see, you've got a lot of flexibility over the different types of menu items you want to add to the context menu. And this is just a real simple implementation. You can even do a lot more, so I'd invite you to look even further in the API documentation if you have more advanced requirements with context menus. So that basically renders out the map and tells the map control, hey, I want a context menu when the user clicks on this, or right clicks on it I should say. So let's take a look at what happens when they click on the second menu item. Since we registered the on-client click event on that, when they select that item, this context menu click is going to be called, and that's just going to call this JavaScript function right here. And on that event we have an event argument passed in that allows us to get the longitude and latitude of the location where the user picked up. So that can be really handy if you need to know exactly where the user clicked. In this case we're just assigning it to the two text boxes in the sample, the world X and world Y text boxes, so you can display that on the screen. The next context menu item here where we created our div tab, or div tag, we have an on-click event, and we're just going to call this pop-up information JavaScript. So if we take a look at it, it's just doing your standard alert box built within JavaScript and popping that up accordingly. So in this one you didn't even have to register the click event, and it's just going to be like any other JavaScript function, but you're not going to have access to the longitude and latitude location. So that's kind of showing the two difference here. So if you need to get the longitude and latitude of where the user clicked, I would implement this method here. If you don't, then this method's just as simple. So the end result is if we click on any one of these, you'll see now the world X and world Y is updated. If I come down here, they've changed the values. And then of course if I do this, the alert pop-up comes up as well. I hope this sample app walkthrough has been helpful. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us, or you can post your questions directly on our discussion forums at thinkgeo.com/forums. Thank you for watching.